Hi there, this is Kimmy from Scrap Therapy. I wanted to show you how to make a card, a side step card, using this super awesome template from hot off the press. I love the way the step card looks, and I've tried to make them before, and there's so many great instructions online about where to score, where to fold, where to cut, but I seem to mess it up and end up not getting a very nice side step card. So when I saw these patterns by hot off the press, I brought in a few different kinds, and I wanted to show you this one, the side step first. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I pick out some papers. So I colored this cute little design. It is a watercolor kind of picture, and so I colored it, and I just love the bright colors, and so I decided to use a bright pink fuchsia for my card base, and then the stars is going to be the matting, and then I'll embellish it a bit too. So I'm going to just set that over here. I'm going to start with the card base. So this piece of cardstock is 6 inches by 10 inches. And it's pretty awesome. The instructions are right on here, but I'm so visual, I like to see things in order to learn them, and so that's why I wanted to show you this. So you just line up your card, so you center it into these little grooves. You can kind of see where the pink is showing through, those little grooves. Center it there, hold it, then use a bone folder of some sort. And I just love this Cricut one that I have scooped from my Cricut machine. And I'm also using, this time I'm not using my my other mat. I'm using this blue one because it's really spongy, and I actually found this so easy to do with the spongy because it's scored really nicely and it was easy to see after. So I've done the center score line. Now I'm going to do this score down here, and I'm going to do these two lines right here, and then this bottom line right here. And then the other line that you need to score or use a pencil, and I just scored it, and because of my spongy mat it shows up really well. Right to the tip, right to the edge, you're going to score along this vertical line as well. So you've got all these horizontal lines, these are all scores, and it actually says on here to score. And then this one that's vertical is the only one that we're going to cut, and it says right on the pattern, cut line, cut line, cut line. So this is our cut line. Okay, then I'm going to take the pattern off, and I don't know if you can see that with the camera, but you can see the score lines that are there. So I'm going to pop the paper into my cutter, and I'm going to line it up on that line where I'm supposed to cut. Remember, there's just one vertical line. So it's a little easier when you've got a cutter that has a smaller blade. Mine has a round rotary blade, and I love my cutter. I'm pretty used to it, so I'm just going to go up pretty far. I'm going to just stand so I can make sure. Perfect. Got right to the edge. And down here, a little bit farther. A little bit farther. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. There, now I've got this, just one vertical cut and then a whole bunch of score lines. So the first thing I'm going to fold is the center fold. So fold it over and line up my corners, make sure they're nice and lined up. And then I'm going to crisp this edge here with my bone folder. Okay, right, so now I'm going to take that. So now I've got just this folded card. And then I'm going to start with this back fold first, and I'm going to push this center fold down, and then this back fold goes like this, and you just line up this edge, make sure it's lined up nice and straight, crisp that fold, and then there's that center fold, right? So now it's on the inside, so just push that down. You can crisp it up from the back if you want. And now the next fold is right there, and the paper is just kind of naturally folding in this direction as I go. So now I'm going to crisp up that one, and then folding up again with the next one, crisp it from in behind, you can see there, And then that very last one is going to just push down very gently and line up my edge. Make sure that's nice and straight and crisp that. Oh, look, isn't that amazing? Just like that, I've made a side step card. What did that take? Like a minute, and no fuss, no muss. I just love this template. So from there, the template's pretty cool because it also includes the matting for the front of the card. So this piece that's right here, and this inside matting piece that goes right here. So you don't have to try and cut and jimmy pieces to get it to fit on perfectly. It does it for you, thinks it all through for you. So I'm going to take this bright yellow card or patterned paper. Now here's the thing, they've set it up so that you actually do it on the reverse, so that you you don't have to put pencil marks on your good side of your paper. But I tried it once and I can't seem to get my brain around it. So what I do, and so it's backwards. So here's the front of the template, and so they've done it that way, right? So then you put it on, I guess, you put it on this side of your patterned paper, and then it's gonna go onto the front of the card. Sorry if that's kind of confusing trying to see that. I often do that with my patterns and my templates just to make sure I do have it going the right way and I haven't made a mistake, because you'll see in one of the other cards that I've done, oh no, I did make a mistake and now I'm going to have the wrong color on the inside. Well, it's actually not wrong because the pattern paper matches. That's my little piece that I need for later. So I'm going to take this is my card front that goes right there, like there, right? And I'm going to just put this on the bottom. And what you can do is you can actually cut both of these at the same time. So I cut them in two different pieces. I went like this, marked out with a pencil this pattern, this first one here, and then I actually ended up cutting it in a square. So there's this square piece that's going to be inside, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'll pull my cutter back over here, so I'm just cutting the first one, and you can just see my pencil line right there. So I'm going to cut across, and there it's approximate, it's going to go up there. And then here's, make sure you can see, here's the bottom pencil line as well. So now I'm going to cut up here, and I've cut out this corner. Okay, now I still need to cut this line and this line, so it'll be much easier to navigate the paper and move the paper around now that it's smaller. So come to the corner. I'm not going to cut all the way through, of course, because I'm just cutting off this inside corner piece. And if you don't quite get it all the way, just keep some scissors handy and clip that little corner there. Okay, so there's that front piece. It sits just like that. Beautiful, perfect. Just love the way that looks. Okay, so I'm keeping this one. I'm gonna just set this aside for a second. Got my piece of paper again, and I'm going to trace on the other flap. So that was the front pattern. Now I'm going to do the inside, and I'm going to do the same thing and put it on to, so it's like the pattern is up on the back side of the paper that I want to use. So it's on the back side of the paper that I want to use. So I want to see the yellow on the other side. So then that means the pattern is facing up towards me. By the pattern, when I say that, I mean the hot off the press template is facing up. The words are not down when I'm tracing, the words are up, and the bad side of the paper is up. Okay, then I'm going to pull this over, cut this one. So there's kind of that square again, and now there's my line, and I just need to notch out that little square. corner. There it is. Okay, so then now this is the inside of my card. And I actually got it right that time. Woohoo, Kimi! Did it, did it. All right, so I'm gonna take, these were the two pieces that were on the inside of my matting, right? This was the chunk that was inside here, and then that was the chunk from the other side. And I'm gonna take those and look at, this pattern is so great, this template, because this little piece right here is the piece that we need for the matting to sit right here. And this little piece here is the template so that we have matting that sits right here. So no getting out your ruler and measuring 2 7/8 or 3/16 or something crazy like that. You just take this piece, put it over top of your scrap paper. And I did it this way because then I get the most bang for my buck out of my paper. And I could easily mat 2 cards with 1 piece of pattern paper. So tuck that in there. Just line up the edge. So I'm lining up the bottom and the side edge so that I just have to cut one side and the top. All right, set that aside, and now I'm just gonna cut those 2 pieces. So I need this. This is my matting that I got stuff on. No mistakes, right? Just opportunities for more creativity, especially with me around. There's that one there. And then now I'm gonna cut this one. This is the other matting. And you know, when I first got this template, I hadn't figured it out. And of course, in Kimi fashion, I wasn't gonna read the instructions. That would be silly. So of course I didn't, and I was just winging it and just doing my own thing. And then when I actually slowed down to read the instructions and kind of figure out all the little bits that were on the template, I was like, wow, hey, that's impressive. They really did think of everything. Oh boy. Okay, so now I've got a matting that sits here, a matting that sits here, a matting that sits here, and a matting that sits on the inside. Isn't that genius? Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside, and I'm gonna show you this one now. So I've got this turquoise one. It's all ready. It's been folded. Beautiful little step. I'm matching it to another little picture that I had colored up with a little feather, and I'm gonna add some embellishments and fun stuff to it. And it's gonna sit there. So here's my matting. I just wanted to show you how perfectly it lines up and sits onto the card. It's brilliant. It's just brilliant. I wish I had thought of it. Okay, so here it is. So I'm gonna line up the bottom. Let's hope I get it straight because I'm on camera. There we go. It's pretty good. Like a glove. Look at that. Isn't that just awesome? And here's those pieces that were sticking to my template earlier because I pre-glued them just to save time because I don't want you to get bored because most of us scrapbookers have a short attention span. Okay, and here's the other one. And I'm going to stick that piece right there. All right, and then I've also got the inside one, and see, here's where I made the mistake. I traced onto the wrong side of the paper because I wasn't following the instructions. But thankfully, I didn't have to throw away the piece of paper. I can continue to use it because it matches the card that I'm making. So there you go. All right, so there's my step card, just like that. And here's my little piece that's going to sit on top of there. I have some pieces of grass and some other little embellishments that I'll add to it once I get there. But I wanted to show you a card that I had done. And here it is, a little step card that I had done. Again, with one of these colored images, and I'm just loving. They come on a sheet, and they're called Art Play, I believe. And so there it is with the steps. And you can kind of see all the little layers, and I just love this little Baby's Breath die by Cherry Lynn. I use it a ton. I just love the little flowers on it and the embellishments. And then there's the inside, And thanks to my sweet friend Sue, I now decorate the inside of my cards most of the time because she kind of rubbed off on me. She's pretty awesome. So there's that beautiful one. And I also wanted to show you this one. And this one I had done as a class a little while ago, and it's pretty cute. Now I had done the matting a little bit differently because I wanted the buildings to be on their own little mat. So I actually did them as two separate pieces there. And then I did a globe die, and then I glued it to vellum. And I had to sit it, it's hard to see, but I had to sit it on the first step because the globe was too big to sit inside, and so it has to sit there instead of sitting on the back step. So you kind of lose the back step in it, but that's okay. It still looks pretty awesome when it's sitting there. So there you go. I hope that you're just as impressed as I am with the side step template by Hot Off the Press, and I hope that you'll give it a try. Thanks for watching. Bye.